obviously you guys battled close for the entire first half. It gets a little bit sideways in the third. How much did that just come down to, two special players in Townsend and Edwards just finding ways to go?
They just they jumped over us and made some really tough shots in the third, and I was really proud of the way we played, particularly in the first half. I haven't looked at the third quarter yet, but we probably could have gotten a couple better shots early in the quarter, and that would have helped us defensively. But look, this is an epic trip we've been on. I mean, we've experienced things that no other team has ever experienced. We played a championship game that doesn't count on our record. We went through really an epic 24 hours getting here to Minnesota, and our guys never complained. They bounced back from a really lousy night last night where we just didn't play well, and we got beat by a team that played better than us. And it's the end of the trip, and they battled, and so now my sincerest hope is that the plane has no maintenance issues and that we can get home. But it's been some really great experience, some really intense things. The game in Milwaukee was really intense. The Detroit game was really intense in its own way. Washington, it was, we had a good first quarter and then just really stunk it up after that. And, and today was today. So you don't like losing, but the attitudes of the guys have been really good, and we got to get better. We got to get better.
Just, I guess, to kind of stay on that track. I mean, what are the most important things you feel like you'll be able to take with you from this, from the whole experience when you take it all in? I mean, there's kind of sort of big picture, 30,000 feet stuff of what it meant for the franchise to get on TV. What do you think this has all in all done for your team? Or are you still kind of processing how this whole trip has affected you guys?
Well, tremendous exposure for the franchise, exposure for our players and how we play. The game in Detroit was a really good demonstration of, approaching a difficult trap game very professionally and just keeping our head down and getting the job done. Milwaukee was just a very intense night on a lot of levels. And then, we got to learn from the Washington game. And because, the first quarter may have led us to think that it was going to be a lot easier than what it was going to be. And so, and again, I give Washington a lot of credit. They competed very intensely, and they deserved to win the game. So, and then tonight is, this is one of the best teams on the planet, and these guys have really got it going here. The building is alive. The environment is way different than it used to be. I take my hat off to Tim Connolly and his operation, for everything they've done. The new ownership group. I mean, this is a different feeling place, and they've got some real stars. And so, good experience to battle these guys. Our young guys got some great experience tonight. They're showing that they are ready to compete, and we continue to have a very competitive situation here for minutes, and that's the way it should be.
Just to keep on them, what did you like about each of them? Ben and Jarrison, particularly Jarrison, just by far his most minutes. I think he's had some time on.
Yeah.
He's obviously had some really good passes, he had long shots. What did you like about the signs of development that you saw from him?
Well, Jarris earned his minutes tonight with how he played last night, and he earned the opportunity to play extended minutes in the first and the second half. So Sheppard is is showing that he's a very consistent competitor and plays really well within our offensive system and understands our defensive system and competes well in that too. So, this is great experience for them. Oster went in there and got some rebounds, which he does, and was a presence, and so there's some positives, but those guys make mistakes too out there, and they learn from these are things they can learn from playing against guys like Gobert and Towns and Edwards. I mean, and Connolly. These guys are great players. So, we got a lot of work to do. We were able to get on a roll during the tournament games, to win our pool, get a home court. Found a way to beat Boston. Same thing with Milwaukee, now we're likely going to have, if not the hardest schedule in the league, one of the hardest, because earning the quarterfinals and the tournament games earns you games against the best teams in all basketball. So that is it's an obstacle if you're trying to win as many games as possible. But for us, it's great experience, and we're grateful.
You obviously knew going in, putting TJ and Bruce around the point. Those are obviously two established professionals, guys that have won it for a long time. But what did you like about each of them, and just sort of the tones they set, the way that they changed, what's at least a slightly different role than they've been playing, and how they kind of set the tone for the rest of the guys.
TJ and Bruce both did a solid job, filling in at the starting and backup point positions, and it was good for Bruce, particularly it was a different way for him to get into the flow of the game, and this has been, I think tonight was good for him for those reasons, and TJ, you're going to get a consistent effort every night.
Yeah, we just play physical. We move the ball, playing together, getting stops, getting out and running. Third quarter, they just hit a lot of threes, contested threes, which is tough. But sometimes you got to live with it.
Obviously, Anthony goes off starting in the second quarter. You guys always scored us in the first. It seemed like to me like you guys felt like you contested a lot of stuff. You just made great shots.
Everything was tough. Great players are going to make tough shots, so sometimes you got to live with it. But he hit 7, so if he does that, that's tough.
Is it like you got to pick your poison with those two when you're playing defense?
As I said, Ant's one of the toughest guards in the league, especially if he's hitting jumpers. They both had great games tonight. We got to be better on the defensive end, but those are some of them. They hit with tough shots, and you just got to be kept.
You talked about the travel issue with this. What do you think you guys are going to get from this whole trip? Obviously, when you throw in Vegas part of it, it becomes a really long deal. A lot of different out there weird situations. What do you feel like you guys?
We came together. Obviously, everybody knows the situation in Milwaukee, but we came together as a team. And that's all you can ask for in this long road trip. 2 weeks away from home, family, loved ones. So we're looking forward to get back home now.
Given the circumstances, I think that we played hard, man. Landing a couple hours for the game and getting to the arena there, it's you can come with all the excuses in the world. I think we had a good fight that first half and just ran on the gas second half. Give credit to them. They made a bunch of shots in the third quarter, especially a bunch of threes, and made it tough on us.
Bruce and TJ are obviously pretty established pros, and obviously they took on a little bit of a different role than they've been taking on. But what did you feel like they did to kind of set tones for you guys?
Nothing different than they've done in the past. I feel like that's kind of been our situation this year. Just guys, the depth of the team, guys playing in different positions and whatnot. Bruce handled most of the point guard responsibilities, second unit. TJ obviously just doing what he does. So, I think they did a good job facilitating, but it was nothing different.
As far as just Carl and Anthony was concerned, how much of it was just great players making great plays, especially Anthony? Seemed like he guys guarded him well. He just hit him.
Yeah, he hit some tough shots. He's a good player. I think that we try to give him different looks, but he was just on tonight.
young guys got some work, especially Ben and Jarris. I mean, what impressed you about those guys? And you've certainly been seeing the progress they've been making. I mean, how have you seen those two guys come up with Jarris?
Their poise, their poise was big tonight. Shep's got a couple opportunities. I was really proud. Jarris got his real opportunity tonight. Jarris is a good feel for the game, just a good point guard. A good point guard instincts, and hit some shots and play some good defense. So he'll get more opportunities.
Obviously, you've had this whole trip, especially going back to Vegas. What are the most important things you want to take from this? What do you feel like you guys, get out of this? What, just both what you achieved in Vegas, but also just the trials and tribulations of it. What do you feel like you guys learned?
I just think all eyes are forward. Vegas is pretty much behind us. There were some good wins and whatnot, but we had to we have a tough month coming up to look forward to. But if we keep trying to pat ourselves on the back for what we did in Vegas, it's gonna doing ourselves a disservice. So I think we just got to keep moving forward.
I think everyone was ready from the jump. They hit a couple tough shots during a stretch, but I feel like everybody was ready. Our bench was ready, and we just came together defensively, and could have done better. Could have done some things better, but we did a lot of things good today, and I think that first half was some of the best defense we played all season. So it was good.
You guys held, I think, Edwards without a point in the first quarter. Somebody was testing everything well. Was it just a guy going off eventually? Do you feel like you guys still defended the heck out of him?
The 5 threes he hit in the first half were heavily contested, and I feel like as a defensive unit, there's nothing we could do about that. But he's a great player. He's going to hit tough shots, and it's up to us to take it on our head and just play the next possession. So.
Obviously, you and Jarris have spent a lot of time together sort of developing each other, just being around and seeing each step the other one was making. This was kind of the biggest opportunity he got. What impressed you about him, and what do you feel like people haven't seen from him yet, as far as what you've seen, I guess, other people haven't seen because you're seeing him practice?
I'd say everyone was impressed with his defensive presence and his vision. He made a couple of passes today where we were just like, wow. And I know Jarris has that in his game, and I think some stuff that people haven't seen yet is just like his offensive capabilities, and just a great player, and thankful to have him as a teammate, and I love cheering him on. So.
How far you seen the shot come along? That was obviously kind of a thing. You didn't have a great performance at Summer League and everything, but it seemed like he was working on the thing all the time and getting some results.
Yeah, he's always in the gym working on his shot, and when we get assigned to the G League, that's just the time for us to work on our game. And we know he's a capable shooter, and it's going to come along, and every shot like he puts up, I think it's going to go in. So.